Now, speaking of world and where we're going to be going.
We're going to go to something that we don't understand.
Yeah. So, Venari, greetings, my friend. Tal Galan. Friend, the elusive Venari has no friends. I have been woefully misrepresented. I can be a good friend, a useful friend to those in need, and everyone is in need of something. You more than most, from what I hear. In fact, I imagine this conversation is merely a pretext for you to inquire what I know of Zerith Mortis. Again, maybe if we players had found out about Zerith Mortis via our own questing or our own experience of this narrative, instead of we saw a dialogue take place in front of them, show don't tell, maybe the gaming equivalent of show don't tell is like play don't cutscene. I don't know exactly how to best do it.
Yeah. Something like that anyway.
But so there's this place, Zerith Mortis. So we'll talk a little bit more before we get into what Zerith Mortis could be. And yes, to the chat, I like Venari as well. Yep. I mean, Venari's a great case of like, makes sense the character to be mysterious and a really, really great vocal. Just like the tone of her voice the texture of her voice is great.
Yeah, it's so very, very, very mysterious, and I really hope this person remains my friend or will be teleported into the abyss.
Yeah.
Something feels good.
So Venari says, do you not long to see the realm of the first ones for yourself? One day, perhaps, if the purpose wills it. Were you not assigned a Korthia for your intellect, your curiosity? Perhaps your purpose, my friend, is not to hoard knowledge, but to share it with those who would put it to use. I admit there are so many theories to explore, so many discoveries to be made. No, I will not think of it. Begone, broker, I need nothing from you. So all we know is Zerith Mortis exists. Zerith Mortis exists, and it's the realm of the first ones. And that's almost certainly where Zovao has went. So what do you think about that?
Well, what does Zerith Mortis mean then?
Yeah. So Zerith is curious. I've seen a lot of people bring this up.
Yep.
Azerith. Zerith and the Zoroth and Azeroth. There's a bunch of people thinking, And then, why is Azeroth at the center of the Great Cycle? What does this mean? What does this mean? Who knows? Yeah. It's all mysterious. Realm of the first ones. It's where the progenitor race comes from, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Do you have any extended thoughts on this?
Yeah, well, isn't Zerith the word that's supposed to mean either cornerstone or keystone?
Yes, that was... Yeah. Again, this is another thing which we need to talk about. Zerith Mortis you will only fully appreciate if you have read Grimoire of the Shadowlands. A book that's mostly unavailable in most regions. Because there is a little bit in the margin of one of the pages or something like that. It's like just a little, here's a cool little thing. Or maybe it's just text, but whatever. The broker writing it has just a little aside about Zerith and whether it means, what was it again? Keystone or Cornerstone?
Keystone or Cornerstone, yep.
Yeah, Keystone or Cornerstone. And I just think it's unfortunate because someone's only going to understand this Zerith Mortis thing if they've read like a Wowhead article that's called it out, or if they've watched a lore YouTuber, or, their friend who has the book has talked about it.
Yeah.
There is no way within the game of World of Warcraft that you pay $15 a month for, there is no way within the game itself to understand what Zerith Mortis means right now. And I think if you want your players to not understand your narrative and not care about it, it makes it feel like Grimoire of the Shadowlands and Sylvanas are the narrative people actually doing what they care about, and the game thing just feels like an afterthought. It should not be like that.
Yep.
We should know all of this Zerith stuff in-game, not because we've read Grimoire of the Shadowlands. And I think as long as this keeps on happening, we'll have more of a job, which I guess is good for us, but people will not enjoy the narrative World of Warcraft as much. Keystone or Cornerstone, important that people kind of get that.
Yeah.
They can't. In the same way that it would make a lot, for people it would be way better if they understood what was going on with Sylvanas. But her full, from her account, is a book that comes out in 2022.
Yeah, after we've done whatever comes next, I imagine.
Yeah.
But another thing about Zerith, actually, because Zerith is the ancient Hebrew unit of length or distance.
Yeah. Well, it's great to see that the devs have been doing all of this background reading, but...
What does it mean?
Yeah, what does it mean?
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where, you know, Zerith Mortis, is it the cornerstone of death, the keystone of death? Is distance in some, not distance, but, you know, is a unit of measurement? Is it some capacity to measure death? Is it like some, even given the first ones is very, you know, talk about the fractals, talk about the geometry, is it maybe got a very, very deep meaning of like the concept of death? That's where we'll learn about the concept of death. And that's all kind of stuff that's like vaguely nice to look at, but...
And again, to actually understand and get to good grips with the current story, you need to know that. You need to know about Al-Farim.
Yeah.
How many of you have went into Tazavesh and found all of the bits of Al-Farim's like log or whatever and actually read it and understood it? You're going to be dealing with like 0.something% of the player base, I would say.
Yeah.
And that yet is something that is core to the current narrative.
Yeah.
So a person who's just going through the Covenant campaigns and stuff is going to be so bewildered and confused that they're not going to be able to get it and enjoy it. And I just think that's a big not good. Big not good. Yeah, it's like, instead of speculating about what Zerith Mortis could be, it's like it's almost more important for us to find all of the stuff that could be relevant to that and surface to you because you probably haven't heard about it. And, you know, where could it be? Well, I don't know. There's the seventh force, there's the big fractal, there's the this and the that, and, you know, all of these things that we don't really have much of a framework for understanding, you know, about, right? So everyone's saying who.
Yeah, I actually just took a screenshot because I got to throw that in like Slack later or something, but just, you talk about Al-Farim, chat just, who? You talking about? What's good?
Damn, you've all outed yourself as not watching our videos. Yeah. If you don't know who Al-Farim is, then dear.
Also, the character's not a character; it's just a name. So even if people know what Al-Farim was writing about or talking about, they're not going to know the character, are they?
No,
because it's not a character. It's just that, you know, it's some
weird
nonsense.
shit.